Welcome back. Like we did talk last time, we say we did learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and SQL. So today we want to know wetin some of them language here mean and some of them wetin then they do. Like how you see them right so, now so we go begin. We go begin for talk about HTML. So let we begin with HTML. HTML stand up for the H mean hyper, the T mean text, the M mean markup, and the L mean language. Therefore, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Hypertext Markup Language. What in this HTML they do by website development? Like how you see in the more concerned about text. If you want to see anything on a website, now HTML and they bring and come inside the browser for let you see. So the browser now the text that we you see now HTML they put them inside there. That language where they use to write them text them now in a HTML. Apart from HTML, the next one we will talk about now CSS. CSS. What did CSS mean? C stand for cascading. The first S stand for style, and the last S stand for sheet. So CSS stand for cascading style sheet. So what in CSS they do per website? Like you see in back ki simply ki understand where you remember style. So anything we get for do with style na CSS that one. Anything we get for do with text for let something appear inside the browser na HTML that one. For let in style may get style, may look fine, may get color, may get any other thing we concern about style na CSS did one. When a cascading style sheet. The next one where we talk about na JavaScript. What in a JavaScript? This now one of the programming language them where we use inside browser. What in JavaScript in the do inside website? JavaScript we use them for let we able respond to all user interactions them. Anything we possibly do now with website, if we want for let we react to them, now JavaScript we use. For example, for let we know say person don't click button, now JavaScript we go use. For let we know which side the person in cursor don't click, cursor now this thing will move. Which side in the currently, for example, you want to know now JavaScript we go use for that. So after JavaScript, the next thing what we go talk about now PHP. Now website normally now two side it work. One now the client in machine that the person where they browse your website, and two now the server where now the side where you will get the website they interact with. For make you able to interact with your server, you need to know server side scripting language. And one pattern server side scripting language na PHP. We na hyper preprocessor programming language. Okay. Now, so the PHP they interact with the server, whereas the JavaScript they interact with the user. anything where the user do on the website, now the JavaScript to the handle. Whereas if we get for do anything with the server, now PHP we go use. Many other languages than the way you go use for interact with your server, like a Python, like a Java, and many other language then. But we decide for use PHP because PHP don't dey for very long time. Many people don't sabi, many resources and they out there where you go able to research on and get answers them to. Also the other language them, yes, then they you go able to find out. One part the key thing them, if you consider PHP, you go also know that you go come for realize say one of the giant social media we dey use when a Facebook, now PHP they use for developer. You don't glad it's small because if you know say them big website like a Facebook go get mind for use PHP for making website, that means they not too funny thing with it. Now what about this last one we write here? SQL. SQL mean structured query language. Wetin back they do? Structured query language now the language where we dey use for interact with database. Now like where you develop your website, you get for collect information from people then. For like you able to save this data and interact with them later, you need SQL. You need database who able to interact with them data then. And for make you able to communicate with the database, you need for know SQL. Now, because database normally now on the server AD, then PHP also come important, or server-side scripting language also come important. Because if you're not able to communicate with your server, you're not going to get data from your server, so you're not going to communicate with your server very well. Like I be saying, we keep we lessons them short one so that we go able to understand it. Thank you for this one. Thank you where you come, and subscribe to this channel, do ya if you know subscribe it, and hit the notification button so that any other video we come, you will always be with we. Thank you. So stay we meet again. Thank you. Now we go end today as we prepare for camp begin. We join in now for the first one we will go learn.